In the fast-moving rig of cable news, where pundits scream for attention and headlines expire in minutes, one man has built an impenetrable sovereign empire. Ari Melber didn't just climb the ranks of MSNBC. He re-engineered the very DNA of political analysis. By combining high-level constitutional law with the rhythmic strength of hip-hop culture and hard data analytics, Melber has created a 6 p.m. powerhouse that dictates the national conversation. But the secret to his 2026 dominance didn't start at the anchor desk. It began with a hard 6 a.m. analysis, a disciplined, early-morning ritual of deep legal diving and strategic planning that transformed him from a lawyer into a media titan. Today, we are going beyond a teleprompter to reveal the hard strategy that secured his record-breaking ratings, his Emmy-winning methodology, and the massive political power base he now wields in this pivotal year. Under the title, Ari Melber 6 a.m. Analysis Built a Media Empire, we are breaking down the hard data behind his viewership, his Emmy strategy, and his sovereign influence in 2026. This isn't just about a TV show. It's about how one man mastered the rig of modern media. Before we dive into the blueprint of his empire, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to join our sovereign community. If you find strength in this deep dive analysis, consider showing your support with a super thanks. It's how we keep this channel independent and hard-hitting. Are you ready for part 1? The 6 a.m. ritual, engineering the sovereign mind, where we detail the exact morning process Ari uses to outwork the competition? While the rest of the world is still hitting the snooze button, Ari Melber is already deep inside the rig. At precisely 6 a.m., the architect of the beat begins a ritual that is more akin to a military briefing than a media prep session. This isn't just about reading the headlines. It's about hard legal deconstruction. Melber doesn't start with a teleprompter. He starts with the original source. Court filings, grand jury indictments, and constitutional precedents are his morning coffee. The secret to his sovereign strength is his refusal to rely on the pre-chewed narratives of the 24-hour news cycle. Most anchors wait for the wire services to tell them what the story is. Melber spends a 6 a.m. window looking for the hard truth that everyone else missed. He applies a lawyer's lens to every sentence, looking for procedural loophole or the evidentiary rig that will become the backbone of his evening broadcast. This early morning deep dive is what allows him to walk onto the set 12 hours later with a level of strength that is unmatched in cable news. He isn't guessing, he's citing. The 6 a.m. analysis is also where the hip-hop strategy is born. Melber understands that to reach a sovereign audience in 2026, you cannot speak in the dry, academic tongue of a law professor. He uses his morning hours to find the cultural parallels, the lyrics and metaphors that make complex legal concepts hard and accessible. Whether he's quoting Jay-Z to explain a RICO case or Pusha T to describe a political betrayal, the goal is the same: to strip away the elitist rig of Washington, D.C., and speak truth to power in a way that resonates on the street level. By 9 a.m., while his competitors are just arriving at their offices, Melber has already rigged the day in his favor. He has mapped out the legal landscape, identified the key witnesses of the day, and established the sovereign narrative. This morning ritual is the engine of his empire. It is why, when the cameras turn on at 6 p.m., Ari Melber isn't just delivering the news. He is delivering a masterclass in constitutional strength. He has outread, out-researched, and out-thought the competition before they've even finished their first meeting. This is a hard foundation upon which his media empire is built. Part 2. The record-breaking ratings, decoding the sovereign audience. In 2026, the media landscape is fractured, but Ari Melber has achieved the impossible: unified dominance. While traditional cable news outlets are bleeding viewers to social media, the beat has seen its ratings skyrocket to record-breaking heights. But this isn't luck. It's a hard, data-driven strategy designed to capture a sovereign audience that has grown tired of partisan shouting matches. The secret to Melber's numbers lies in his hard transparency. He realized early on that the 2026 viewer is more media literate than ever before. They can smell a rigged narrative from a mile away. To counter this, Melber turned the show into a sovereign classroom. Instead of just telling the audience what happened, he shows them the strength of the evidence. By putting actual court documents on the screen, highlighting specific paragraphs in real time, he transforms passive viewers into active jurors. This show your work methodology has created a level of trust that competitors simply cannot replicate. The data proves that Melber has captured a unique demographic, the information sovereign. These are younger, high-income, and politically independent viewers who don't watch TV news, except for the beat. His ratings are anchored by his massive digital footprint. By 2026, Melber's YouTube views often exceed his live broadcast numbers, creating a sovereign feedback loop. The hard data shows that when he breaks down a complex legal filing using hip-hop lyrics, the engagement metrics spike among the 18 to 34 demographic, a group that most news networks have completely lost. This ratings empire is also built on his hard interview technique. Melber doesn't just interview people. He deconstructs them, whether it's a high-ranking government official or a controversial cultural figure. He uses the sovereign strength of the transcript. He often reads back a guest's own past statements to their face, not as a gotcha, but as a legal cross-examination. This high-stakes environment creates appointment viewing. In 2026, the rig of the talking point-driven interview is dead. The hard truth of the beat is the new gold standard, and the record-breaking ratings are the proof. Part 3. The Emmy Strategy, turning legal briefs into television gold. Ari Melber didn't just want a news show. He wanted a sovereign production that would stand the test of time. To win an Emmy in the hype-competitive landscape of 2026, you can't just report the news. You have to architect it. Melber's hard Emmy strategy is built on the belief that the law is not a dry list of rules, but a high-stakes drama that requires cinematic precision. The secret to his award-winning segments is a visual transcript. Melber and a production team developed a specific rig for the screen that allows the viewer to follow a legal argument as if they were reading a high-level brief. They don't just show a picture of a courthouse. They use advanced motion graphics to deconstruct indictments line by line. This visual strength ensures that even the most complex constitutional crisis becomes a gripping, easy-to-digest narrative. It is a hard bridge between elite legal circles and the living rooms of America. But the true genius of the Emmy strategy is the cultural synthesis. Melber's team spends hours during the day rigging the perfect intersection between legal precedent and cultural icons. When the beat wins awards, it's often for segments like the fall of the House of Trump or the RICO playbook, where Melber uses the strength of historical storytelling to frame current events. He treats the teleprompter like a script for a legal thriller, utilizing pauses, emphasis, and direct-to-camera hard stares that create an intimate, sovereign connection with the viewer. Furthermore, Melber's Emmy strategy includes his sovereign special reports. These are deep-dive, long-form segments that often run for 15 to 20 minutes without a commercial break, a move that is unheard of in the rig of modern cable news. By dedicating this much time to a single legal concept, he demonstrates a hard commitment to substance over sound bites. In 2026, the Academy doesn't just reward his ratings. They reward his sovereign authority. He has proven that you can be the most watched show in the country without sacrificing the intellectual strength that the Emmy represents. Part 4. The 2026 Political Power Base, the Sovereign Kingmaker. By January 2026, Ari Melber has transitioned from a news anchor into a sovereign political power base. In a year dominated by the high-stakes battle for control of Congress and unprecedented legal warfare, the beat has become the ultimate hard destination for those who want to influence the national direction. Melber's show is no longer just a place to report on the news. It is where the news is rigged into existence through high-level accountability. The secret to his power in 2026 is his institutional strength. Melber is an attorney and former Senate staffer, and he uses that background to speak the language of power better than anyone else in the media. When top Democrats or defiant Republicans want to signal a shift in policy, or when legal scholars like Melissa Murray need to deconstruct a Supreme Court rig, they go to Ari. He has built a sovereign platform where he doesn't just ask questions. He shapes the very arguments that are later cited on the floor of the House and Senate. In this pivotal election year, Melber's 6 a.m. analysis, now often focused on the laws of war and the use of executive power, serves as a hard blueprint for the resistance. Whether he is debunking presidential claims about oil justifications in Venezuela or deconstructing threats to use the Insurrection Act, Melber provides a sovereign evidence that political leaders use to push back. His guests in 2026 aren't just pundits. They are the people in the room. Congresswomen like Yasmin Ansari and veterans of the Washington Post like Marty Baron, who come to the beat to launch the counter-narratives that define the week. Melber's influence has become so vast that his segments are frequently used as evidence in congressional hearings. This is the strength of his empire. He has created a record that cannot be ignored by the rig of partisan politics. In 2026, being a guest on the beat is a badge of sovereign credibility. It is the place where legal theory meets political reality, making Ari Melber the most influential kingmaker in the media landscape. He has proven that hard legal analysis, when delivered with cultural resonance, is the most powerful weapon in the 2026 political arsenal. In 2026, Ari Melber has proven that the most effective way to dismantle a political rig is through the language of the people. While other anchors hide behind ivory tower jargon, Melber uses the strength of hip-hop to bridge the gap between complex constitutional law and the streets of America. This isn't just a gimmick. It is a calculated sovereign strategy that has turned the beat into a cultural phenomenon. The secret to this blueprint is Melber's understanding that rappers are the ultimate legal commentators. He realized early on that hip-hop is a genre born from navigating a rigged justice system. By quoting legends like Jay-Z, 50 Cent, or Kendrick Lamar, he isn't just trying to seem cool. He is using their hard-lived experiences to illustrate how the law actually works in practice. In 2026, his special reports, like the viral breakdown of Jay-Z's God Did, are cited not just in media circles, but by the artists themselves. When Jay-Z released HOV Did, featuring Melber's own legal analysis, it signaled a total merger of media sovereignty and cultural power. This strategy has created a rig-proof connection with a younger, more diverse audience. While the traditional rig of cable news often ignores the intersection of race, law, and culture, Melber puts it at the forefront. He treats a rap lyric with the same intellectual strength as a Supreme Court dissent. This approach has forced the rig of the establishment to take notice. In 2026, you don't just see politicians on the beat. You see Fat Joe, Meek Mill, and 50 Cent discussing criminal justice reform. This sovereign alliance between the law and the arts is what makes Melber's empire untouchable. He has democratized the truth by making it rhythmic. The hard truth for his competitors is that they cannot replicate this. You cannot fake the kind of cultural literacy that Melber has spent years building. His sovereign dominance in 2026 is built on the fact that he respects the culture enough to study it with the same hard intensity as his 6 a.m. legal briefings. By using the arts to explain the rig of the system, he has created a show that doesn't just inform, it empowers. He has turned the beat into a sovereign space where the law is finally translated for everyone, and that is the ultimate victory over the media machine. Ari Melber's ascent to the pinnacle of the 2026 media empire is not a story of luck. It is a story of hard intellectual engineering. By refusing to follow the traditional news rig, Melber has created a blueprint for sovereignty in an age of misinformation. He has proven that a legal analyst can be a cultural icon, and a news anchor can be a political kingmaker, all while maintaining the strength of his journalistic integrity. From his 6 a.m. deep dives into constitutional law to his Emmy-winning visual deconstructions, Melber has redefined what it means to be informed. He didn't just build a show. He built an institution that bridges the gap between the highest courts and the deepest rhythms of American culture. In 2026, the Beat stands as a fortress of sovereign truth in a world of rigged narratives. The lesson of Ari Melber is clear. Master the facts, respect the culture, and outwork the system. He has shown us that the hard path, choosing substance over sound bites, is the only one that leads to a legacy that is truly unstoppable. Do you believe Ari Melber's fusion of law and hip-hop is the future of all news media? Or is his sovereign power base unique to the man himself? Drop your hard analysis in the comments below. If you found strength in this masterclass on media empire building, hit that like button and subscribe to stay ahead of the rig. To help us keep delivering these sovereign deep dives, consider a super thanks. Your support keeps our channel independent and hard-hitting. Don't stop now. Click the video on your screen to see our next analysis of the power players shaping 2026.